for today. Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearthstone 4, the New Orders Island. Let us continue on from where we last left off. We're passing bills left, right, and center. I think I said that actually at the beginning of last episode, but we're going to say it here again, because that's what we're still doing. Things are going okay, except for Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is not going okay, but I think that's to be kind of expected. We have 56 political power. Let's get Labor to support us a little bit here. 20 political power. We get 4 points. We're at 93. We get the Liberals on side as well. We're at 96. We've got our votes. Let's heckin' go. Aside from that, we're about to finish up Erangobro. Assuming that's how you pronounce that. I don't know. And that should presumably open up a new tree for us. If you do StarCraft 2 playthrough, I was genuinely thinking about that actually earlier today, where I'm like, I should go and I should just play through all the StarCraft 2 campaigns, because I actually never played Legacy of the Void. Nuclear reactor, I don't think I'm worried about that too much. I never played Legacy of the Void. I never played the campaign. I also never played Nova Covert Ops either, which I guess is understandable. I didn't do Legacy of the Void. Go back to your real roots and play Brood War. I mean, this Anthem started as a StarCraft 2 commentary channel. You know, like Artosis and Tasteless and stuff. In that kind of vein. That's what I started off on. I actually deleted all of my old StarCraft 2 commentary videos. I regret that so often, because I want to go back. I want to watch my old StarCraft 2 commentary videos. But they don't exist anymore. I think I probably had, like, I didn't get to read that event. It said something about the Lobster Wars. I think I probably had like 200 videos of StarCraft 2 commentaries. I have to imagine, if not more. Back when I was 13, 14 years old. I'm sure they're awful. I'm sure they're just garbage in every way. Because I didn't actually commentate, because I didn't know any actual strategy for StarCraft 2 at that time. So I literally just commented on what was happening on screen at any given moment. Okay, Verona Conference has ended. Yeah, there is still some of the Versus videos I put up, because I think those videos had, it's like 300,000 views or something crazy like that. There's some... The bill passes. Fantastic. Okay. I didn't even read what the effects were. Okay. What about engineering? Engineering techs. 1960 research. I'll take it. Oh yeah, those videos are... They were recorded on like an old trash laptop. 346,000 views. I think a bunch of those actually have more dislikes than likes because of how poor the quality is on them. Yeah, I think StarCraft 2 would actually be something definitely I would be really willing to go back and play. Okay, so you're going to be 50 political power, more stability, more war support, all those things I'm very, very happy to see. That's above ratio. Is it? I know some of those for sure have a bigger dislike bar than a like bar. Some of them for sure. I don't know which one it is. Okay, we got a new regent. Naval has overthrown the Haitian government. It's like 2-frame. Yeah. People, you gotta remember, back in 2010, people were willing to watch anything on YouTube. The barrier to entry was so low that anyone could make... The problem with making YouTube videos nowadays, if you want to start like a streaming or anything like that, genuinely, you need to start off with like a... Like, the microphone I'm using right now is like $600. You've got to get a good microphone to even begin to even think about making videos anymore. You can't buy a $20 Logitech microphone and use it in your basement anymore. You could in 2011. Those were the days. The evening rush. The Fantasy pub was busy as usual. It was the evening rush and people were coming in droves for a bite to eat at the pub. Adam Ofete, the owner, kept his nose with the influx of patrons of the past couple of years. Ireland was finally starting to get back on her feet, it seemed, and the people were feeling the benefits. More people could afford to eat out and get a drink, and Adam himself was able to afford to hire a proper cook so he could focus on the bar. Tom and a few of his buddies were sitting at one end of the bar, chanting loudly among themselves. Tom was now considered a bit of a local hero after he organized a strike outside of one of those factories owned by that German bastard Joseph Abs, and managed to get the whole damn country talking about worker safety. "Have another round, Tom," Adam shouted over the din. Tom raised his mug in acknowledgement, setting off a round of cheers among his fellows, all clamoring to pick up his tab. He hadn't paid for a beer in weeks. Yes, Adam thought. Things really were starting to look up for Ireland. Even impelled militaries in the north had quieted down after some of the terrorist attacks. Though Adam knew better than to think that it was anything more than a calm before the storm. Really, the only problem Ireland was left facing was the jammed Germans. Adam frowned. Sure, the Taoiseach liked to talk about how the Irish were independent from the Reich, and had even introduced some legislation to back Irish businesses over the German ones, but the big corporations in Germania still had their slimy tentacles all over Ireland. Factories owned by giant German companies were still dotted in the landscape, and Germany was the primary importer of Irish-made goods. Too much of Ireland's economy was tied up in German hands, Adam reckoned. Adam was drawn from his revis by a call for another round of drinks, worrying about the Germans could come later. Perhaps for now, they could all enjoy a bit of peace and prosperity. Someone should do ASMR, Hoi 4 ASMR China reading? Absolutely not. Okay. So is this what's reading the Hoi 4? No, this is just this mod. This mod is basically a choose your own adventure book, which I think is very, very cool. I don't have any focuses yet, but I'm assuming something's probably going to kick off soon. Please hear me out. I'm personally not going to do the Hoi 4 ASMR. Maybe somebody else will. I don't know it exists. Let's fucking finally. Okay, we got some decisions available. Let us. Right now we have no bills to pass. Let us keep on fighting some of the rebels. The groups are focused on the NIC. I probably should support you a little bit. Let's root out corruption. Raise their salaries a little bit. They're friendly. And they're at 55% corruption. That seems pretty goddamn bad. That seems really, like, not where we want to be at the moment. Kimmy Love ASMR is the channel that did most of it, it looks like. My god. That's absolutely wild. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that something like that exists. Also, I didn't start a timer for this episode. I don't think. Which is my bad. Oh no, I did start a timer. I'm better at this than I thought I was. Okay, we got the little Weimar. By the way, is there more international stage? We need some issues. Is there more Ireland content, or did we run out? Well, we'll keep going a little bit here. But presumably something should happen. You get massive invaded by Britain and here screaming naval invasion. There was Vic 3 Ireland. Yeah, what happened to Victoria 3 Ireland? There's a reason we stopped that campaign. I don't remember what it actually is. Okay, people are being deposed. How... I guess we can build ourselves a new... You know, let's build ourselves a office here. Is there finished 3 videos? There was some reason why I stopped. Is that when I got... Did I get sick? Or did the... Oh, no. Actually, I remember now. The save file got corrupted, and I couldn't get past... Once it hit, like, January 1st, it just crashed. I never got to figure out why it did that. Adolf Hitler is dead. Japan launched a retaliatory invasion of the Philippines. The Philippines just seem like a complete mess for the Japanese, to be honest with you. Okay, Hitler is dead. Siberian Black Army has now risen up. Yeah, everything basically broke. Okay, so Serbia is erupting into civil war. Again, I don't know if we care about too much about what happens in Serbia, to be completely honest with you. Like, no offense, Serbia. It's just not... I don't think it's super, super important. Okay, talk is available. Let's go for you. Seem okay. I don't miss the laryngitis arc. German Civil War. Hey, okay, there we go. A new focus tree. I knew there had to be a new focus tree once the German Civil War began. The end of the pact. It's a disaster here, said the ambassador to Germany over the phone. Everybody's throwing their stuff in the game. There's skirmishes all around the country, and everyone here is taking sides. All right, Gallagher, said Foreign Minister Akin. Where's the successor of the Fuhrer? Is he in control? Nobody's in control, said Gallagher. Spear students are revolting in the Ruhr. Bormann's gathering who can go down south. Goering's taken over the east, and the SS is going berserk and occupied France and Poland. Hell, Speidel seems to be putting his name into contention. His forces are locking down Germania as we speak. Muffled conversation on the other end. Sorry, the last Aer Lingus is leaving Telford for right now. I can brief you more when I get there. All right. Good luck to all of you, said Akin. You too, sir, said the ambassador before he hung up. Immediately afterwards, there was silence. Lamesh and Akin looked at each other. Both knew what this meant. What the pact would be with Germany and anarchy. What the economy would be with Germany and anarchy. And what Ireland would now be without its economic lifeline. Lamesh cursed at the top of his lungs. He wasn't going to hide it. Well, I'm glad that there's more content here. Why does Tater Talk groan so loud? He's an angry lad. Talk to the party, and now what? The worst case scenario. So we've got the German Civil War. We got Speer against Bormann versus Göring versus Heydrich. I feel like usually in the campaigns I've seen, Bormann has a bit of an advantage. His borders just look the nicest. And then Burgundy is going to be invading Paris. No surprise there. Goodbye, France. And chaos in Ostland. Basically, Germany is going to completely collapse at this point, and the whole German sphere is going to... Let's just say it's not going to be looking good for them. Hans Speidel can assume control of Germania. So what does this look like for the Cold War, then? Rankings. Germany's actually not even considered a major power right now. I'm guessing until the German war is actually resolved. Okay, Germany, or Britain is now evolved into civil war as well. So they got the Kingdom of England versus Her Majesty's most loyal resistance. The Warsaw Uprising. Expansion in Africa. Shit is popping off literally all across the world. Okay, Government of Indonesia. The English Civil War's begun. It really is chaos everywhere. Well, you know what? Little Ireland? Little Ireland's doing okay. Possibly. Can I do any more let's raise salaries more. Paramilitaries, let's fight all of them, please. And the worst case scenario. As Danny walked down the beaten road, glancing from block to block, he imagined that what he saw here in Dublin is happening in every other Irish street. The shop fronts boarded up and a muffled city life that usually could be heard at all times of night, all but gone. Hope bit the dust behind all the closed doors, and despair had swept in swiftly to fill its place. Indeed, it was an empty and lifeless place to be left in. Danny thought that in some weird way. Yeah, he was no different than each of these abandoned buildings. He too had been ditched by everyone around him the moment the realization of economic chaos had set in. Though those who had already left had gone on for a far better place, at least that is what he had imagined. Nevertheless, they had gone and he was left behind to rot. One of the only comforts Danny could find in the midst of all of it was the assurance that it could not possibly get any worse. The sheer amount of discontent and devastation would have to get the attention of those in power. Surely they would have realized the need for change. They could not go on allowing him and the rest of Ireland to be beaten like this. A better country would surely form from all this insanity and confusion. Yet, the promise was not as comforting as he first thought. Those who had allowed the collapse to happen appeared to be in charge of the recovery. And again, Danny asked himself where the hope of the last few years had brought him. And given a bleak reality he endured, he cast doubt on any optimism once more. Why should he think the next era will be any different, let alone any different from the last? It's all coming down. The higher the German investor's presence, the more damaging to our national GDP will take. Everything gets shitty and will become more decentralized. It can't get any worse is like his famous last words. Yeah, so Germany, I don't think they controlled like too much about the economy. Do you know much about Guangdong? I did see that they got a new political power, new political tree before I started off this stream. Just calm down. Calm down. Yeah, because I know, like, Guangdong's down here. I don't know what's in their actual content tree, though. Our credit rating has degraded. I'll be honest with you, Credit Rating Bureau. Oh, we're not in any economic sphere. Oh, you know what? We're a B. I will take a B credit rating. Okay, formation of Africa Shield. So the South African War will be beginning very, very soon. You're all 65 tech. We're not quite there yet. Give me resource gain efficiency, as well as learning what a grenade is. I think that sounds good. I think China, for sure, will definitely a campaign we'll do in the future. I just don't know when exactly it would be. Karl Donitz has seized Crimea. Belarus has declared war on you. The United Partisan... Okay, everybody's going to war with everybody in Eastern Europe, okay? And bread prices soar. Families across the isle have become quite used to cutting down on the size of their shopping list. First, they went to few pleasant luxuries they could afford, televisions, telephones, and the like. Then, more spending had to be stopped. New clothes, shoes, bedding, fuel, and furniture are becoming too expensive for the majority of households. Yet, every worker is continuing to spare. Prices continue to get steeper and steeper, while their incomes remain meager. It did not take long before there was little left to cut. Food had to be taken off their plates, meals needed to be skipped, and there was no choice but to ignore their constant aching in their half-starved stomachs. All while knowing that all this was not their fault. Still, the prices soared. Without food to feed the families, the good citizens of Ireland despaired. Soon they will find out there's nothing left to lose but their lives. I mean, that sounds bad. That sounds, I would say, not great. But with that, I think that's going to be a good time for us to end off this episode.